So there's been this narrative, I believe it's a false narrative up until this point, honestly, that there's some type of genocide on transgender people. Mm-hmm. This is what's going to happen when you tell transgender people they can't own guns, because all these big accounts, Ryan Fournier, I saw a Blaze TV contributor saying it. I saw somebody, Kingsley Cortez, I believe, another big account who was on Trump's 2020 campaign. They were all tweeting about take the guns away from trans people. Now you've legitimized their views about genocide, because you guys are the people who this whole time have been saying, well, what's the first thing that happens before a genocide? And this is true, by the way. The first thing that happens before a genocide is disarmament. This is what Nazi Germany did to the Jews. This is what Stalin did to detractors. Like, this is what people did before something really, really bad happened. So I'm not suggesting that Republicans genuinely want to go around and round up transgender people and shoot them in the streets. That's not what I'm saying at all.
But when you
this is the message you're sending.
You leave
this is the message
vulnerable.
You're sending.
They can't defend themselves, which is why if you believe in the Second Amendment, you have to believe in it for everyone.
And I've been saying
self-defense is a human right. It is a human right. It does not matter if someone is mentally ill. By the way, being mentally ill does not make you violent inherently. That is a misconception.
Yeah. I wanted to bring that up too, because there are the vast majority of people with a mental disorder, mental illness, gender dysphoria, whatever have you, they're just trying to cope with it. That does not make you homicidal. That does not make you suicidal. That does not make you violent, like you just said. And it's so disingenuous for people to just say, well, it's a mental illness. You want mentally ill people to have guns? Yes, I do want the veteran with post-traumatic stress disorder to be able to defend themselves. Yes, I do want the rape victim with PTSD or anxiety or depression stemming from their assault to defend themselves. Yes, I do want the child who grew up who was abused during their childhood to be able to defend themselves. You guys don't know what you're talking about when you're making these sweeping generalizations on people with mental health disorders, even severe ones like schizophrenia or PTSD and things that make you like really confused or really act out at times. That does not make you a homicidal person.
Well, and think about it this way too. This is where I always like to look at the mental health issue when they come to say we need to take away guns from the mentally ill. Is one, who gets to determine who's mentally ill?
Exactly.
Like conservatism will become a mental illness.
And sorry, psychiatry is a left-wing practice. So what do you think is going to happen to you?
Well, and not only that, and then if you start to take away rights based on mental illness or something like that, well, one, it would be a 14th Amendment violation, but also it de-incentivizes people actually going to get help. And so you have people that are not getting help with guns instead of people that are getting help without them. You know, like it actually does the opposite of what you think it's going to do.
The two strategies for Americans dealing with mental health seems to be this: let's medicate the crap out of everybody. We need more resources. We need more resources. That's pills. Okay, when they say resources, they mean pills. Or on the other side, let's criminalize it and treat it like we do drugs.
Let's
and sex
throw
work.
them in the psych wards. Let's bring back the institutions.
Let's throw them in the asylum and disarm them. Yeah. It's ridiculous how we're at these two extremes. When I think the solution is very clear, and I think you pointed it out in the beginning of the episode, Maggie. It's like a lot of the times, especially me, who I actually have diagnosed depressive disorder from when I was like in 6th grade, I want to say. So it's a thing that I've dealt with, but I'm not on SSRIs. I was prescribed SSRIs at a time. I think you are 100% correct when you say that when you're uncomfortable, that means you have to take action in your life. And sometimes I feel like I do have a harder time coping and dealing with things that a normal person might do. I'm not a homicidal person. I'm also not on SSRIs. I do have a therapist. I do have mental health resources that are easily accessible, that are pretty much accessible for most people. I mean, it's like mine is online. It's virtual. If you have an internet connection, you can use it. And most people do have one or go to a library or something. But I'm not buying the narrative that it's just resources. It's just resources.
It's not
this person
just resources.
was in counseling. This person was living at home at the age of almost 30. This person had resources. It's not about resources. It's literally about first recognizing the signs, because I do believe that this person had red flags, and I'm using this for lack of a better term, not promoting red flag laws. But this person, there were screenshots that were leaked to the press from this person's middle school basketball teammate who she was basically kind of hounding them. I'm done. I'm going to kill myself. I'm for real this time. You're going to see me on the news. Like, there were clear red flags. And it kind of implied that this person was regularly threatening this type of stuff, at least threatening suicide. So this was already documented. This person didn't need resources. This person needed, this person should have been
serious intervention.
I think this person should have been institutionalized.
Yeah.
Well, and even those
under
text
current
messages.
laws, if you are threatening to kill yourself or someone else,
Yep.
you get institutionalized. Like, we don't need to bring back the asylums in order for that to happen.
Right. So it's crazy that they're suggesting more and more gun control when the gun control on the books was already ignored. If you're telling people you're going to kill yourself, that's already enough for you to be institutionalized, and there you will not have a gun. So the fact that there were policies set in place to make sure this did not happen and they were not followed for whatever reason is not a reason for there to be more gun control.